entirely AI and cameras. Just like our brain works, which is neural nets and eyes. The mind-blowing thing is that there's no heuristics. There's no like lines of code. Like there's a guy on a scooter. It doesn't know what a scooter is. It doesn't know what paddles are. It's literally just been given a lot of video. Oh, intervention. Sorry. Okay, so that's our first intervention.
All that and more, so let's get to it. This will be a hypercut, along with a little bit of my commentary. I've heard about it from Dylan Loomis, Black Tesla, Cyberlift, AI driver, but I never really sat down and watched the clip in its entirety. I'll do that right now. Millions of people have probably seen this clip in some way, shape, or form, and that's still not enough. I don't think people understand the gravity of the situation that is at hand. Without further ado, self-driving, version 12.
We're just leaving Tesla headquarters, and we just dropped a random pin at Stanford or whatever. We can clear that though, and I don't know, we can pick it. I'll just whatever. AI end to end. Let's see how it does. So let's go. It's really smooth sailing in the car itself. And here we're encountering some construction, and the car is just driving around the construction. So it has never seen this construction before. Well, it is near the headquarters, but this construction is relatively new. Let's learn exactly the right lane, but now it's going over to the right lane.
I'm not sure how the background music is going to play on the YouTube platform. Hopefully it doesn't destroy the video. In case it does, the full length of the video will be in the description below. Fully expect FSD on any version to handle construction of that magnitude. But when you're talking about the construction of stoplights or intersections, or even freeway construction, that's when FSD gets a little tricky and the stakes go higher. So that right there doesn't necessarily impress me. Not a lot of risk involved for the passengers in the car and the pedestrians outside.
I mean, obviously it's a little boring because we're at a red light. And there's a lot of traffic at this time. So I don't want to bore people to death here, but we're just sitting at a red light in Palo Alto. Yeah, I think like the videos like this are maybe more interesting if they're edited and sped up.
Yeah. I got you, boss.
We're always planning the axis between water and air, grounded in flight, spinning my mind.
And yeah. Made a good left. It's kind of hard to tell maybe from the live stream, but the car is driving very smoothly.
Smooth. That is a key trigger word for Elon Musk. He wants this thing to feel seamless. Unlike the other robo-taxi companies that are just okay with making money off of consumers, despite the ride and experience being a little lackluster. Before Tesla charges a single person with a robo-taxi fare, this technology will be absolutely smooth.
I think I'll rely on others to take this video, edit out the boring bits, and speed it up. Entirely AI and cameras. Just like our brain works, which is neural nets and eyes. Yep, I just slow down for a speed bump, which is cool. To slow down for another speed bump. And we did not program in there's no line of code that says slow down for speed bumps.
If you checked out my last version of full self-driving beta 11.4.4, the speed bumps were atrocious. Now that's been a pet peeve for a lot of full self-driving beta users. This thing slowed down for speed bumps.
This based entirely on video training.
Yeah, I went around CYCLIST.
Yeah, and there's a bicyclist. Again, there is no line of code that says give clearance to bicyclists. It is just doing what people do.
Contemplating how we got here. Oh, it's a waste of time. Be my dark night, my lover.
Once again, there is no line of code that says stop at a stop sign or wait for another car.
Who came first or whatever.
Or who came? There's not like wait X number of seconds. Nothing like that. Nothing. This is all nets, baby. Nothing but nets.
Kobe, rest in peace.
We're in the moonlight, my leg.
When we get to our destination, we'll change the pin. It's like drop it somewhere else random. Maybe we'll run into Zuckerberg and we can challenge him to a fight. That'd be fun. Spice it up. He's not traveling somewhere to his backyard.
This twist of melody.
So here we are at a roundabout. So roundabouts are obviously pretty complicated.
I waited for those two cars.
Yep, it just waited for those two cars to go and then did the turn. Again, I'm being somewhat repetitive about this, but we have never programmed in the concept of a roundabout. We just showed a whole bunch of videos of roundabouts. So a lot.
A big fleet helps.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need a lot of training data, a lot of video training data in order to make this work. So you need really billions of dollars of training hardware, and you need to know how to run the neural net training hardware. So it's not like easy.
In layman's terms, what you need to make this technology work, millions of Teslas on the road, access to NVIDIA's latest, greatest, and most expensive chips on the planet, best and brightest engineers tweaking those chips, fabricating their own chips, and then put that all together like a 10,000-piece jigsaw puzzle with an image that you've never seen before. Good luck to anybody trying to compete with Tesla on this front. Should be easy to replicate, should be easy to duplicate, you'll be fine.
The mind-blowing thing is that there's no heuristics. There's no like lines of code. Like there's a guy on a scooter. It doesn't know what a scooter is. It doesn't know what paddles are. It's literally just been given a lot of video. So, and it's doing all of this on hardware 3 with about 100 watts of inference compute. So it's not like, obviously, it's not some like massive data center. And if we were offline, there would be no difference. This is locally, all the inference that's happening is local. It does not need an internet connection.
I got a buddy up in Minnesota. That's one of his primary reasons for why robo-taxis would never work, is because if the internet connection goes down, what do you have? You have death machines on wheels, right? Wrong. 3-4 years ago might have been a valid argument, but they've solved that problem. But what about Moore's Law? I guess that's outdated.
That's necessary because if you lost your cellular internet connection, the car needs to drive safely. But we could be somewhere where there is no internet connection, and it's never seen the roads before. It doesn't matter.
A smooth harmony, my dark night.
The pure AI version runs faster than the version that is a mixture of normal software and AI. In fact, it would run it faster than 36 frames per second, except the cameras are currently only capable of 36 FPS. Our current, back of the envelope frame number is, we think it could probably run at 50 frames a second.
First destination complete. No interventions. Elon and the team are pushing beyond the normal limits, doing more than just asking what if. Much like Elon in a fight against Zuckerberg, he'd put him to the test, stretch him past its limits. Force feed the neural nets with tons of video data from millions of Tesla vehicles across the roads. A shitload of different experiences and complex navigational situations. It consumes that data, not only able to regurgitate it, but improve on those driver experiences. This thing is already a better driver than me, but I'm a low bar. Soon, this will be better than the average human by an order of magnitude. How is this not national news?
My lover in the moonlight, my legs twist a melody.
I'm like, hello, assassins. If you want to get me, now is your chance. You just need to be in Palo Alto. Like this, the assassin count is low in Palo Alto.
A smooth harmony. I know that I should be home, but I'm grounded.
Test drive, FST-12 test drivers around the world. So we've got people in, I think, like New Zealand and like Thailand and Norway, Japan.
Yeah, everywhere.
Are we kidding here? They've got version 12 testers all over the world, and this is not what I'm seeing on the news? Talk about flying under the radar. This won't just be a national system. This very well could be a worldwide robo-taxi fleet.
You need to like just do it in the US. You could do it everywhere simultaneously.
Right. Exactly. Just like a human can go travel to a country they've never been to before and rent a car and drive around and be, maybe not quite as good as someone local, but you can still rent a car in a foreign country and drive around. And we just have like some students over there that one of them stumbled briefly into the road and the car drove around them. A lovely day in California. The beautiful Stanford campus.
In flight, life is a close call. I'll catch it on the rewind.
So here we are at a roundabout. The car is I've never been to this roundabout before, and the car is not specifically trained on this roundabout.
Yeah, and then once it's our turn, and just proceeds.
Yeah,
no fills.
Exactly. So it waited for the correct amount of time, drove smoothly around the roundabout. Again, I will be somewhat repetitive, but there is no line of code that says this is a roundabout. There is nothing that says wait, X number of seconds, which is what we have in the explicit control stack. That's the sort of version 11. There's over 300,000 lines of C++ in the explicit control stack of version 11, and there's basically none of that in version 12.
Oh, give me version 12. Please, just give me version 12.
No lines of code doesn't mean that it's not controllable. It's still like quite controllable on what you want by just adding data. Now you have to program with data instead of programming with code.
Yeah, data curation.
Yeah.
And then whenever we find that there's something, say if the car doesn't perform perfectly, we give it more examples of what it should do in that situation, and updates the weights, and then it works.
Yeah, and also we have labelers cleaning and making sure that all the data that goes in is like the good driving data, not like the bad drivers from the world. There are bad drivers.
Like myself. I guarantee you they're not using any data from me. They are, however, probably using the data from my driving student, FSD Beta 11.4.4. Watching this just makes me want to go out there and accumulate more data.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very important. The quality of the data is very important. So large amounts of mediocre data do not improve driving.
Yeah, it's quite the opposite actually.
Yeah, it makes it worse. So that's why the data curation is actually quite difficult. And I should say there is quite a bit of software around what data, so selecting what data to train the system with. So
the software that runs in the car is minimal, but the software in the back end to train is like much larger and much more sophisticated.
Yeah, exactly. So we do use like normal software for C++ basically for Python for deciding what data to select from the fleet.
Know that I should be home, but I'm grounded in flight. Life is a close call, I'll catch it on the rewind. I'll catch it on the rewind. Hey. I'll catch it on the rewind.
So I have not intervened once, and the drive has been butter smooth.
I'll catch it on the rewind. Hey.
But we have not programmed in the concept of traffic lights. So there's not like, oh, this is a red light, this is a green light, and this is the traffic light position. We have that in the normal stack, but we do not have that in V12. This is just video training. Like I said, nothing but neural nets.
Nothing but net, baby!
And yet it knows which light applies to it. And it stops at a red light, accelerates at a green light. Now, one of the sort of maybe slightly funny challenges we've had is that since the car is being trained on what humans do, humans almost never stop fully at a stop street. So when they get to a stop sign, humans actually almost never go to 0 miles an hour. They may think they did, but usually they're doing at least a few miles an hour at a coming up to a stop street. Sometimes people go faster than that, but the regulators are they're really quite insistent that we go to come to a complete stop at stop signs. And when we looked at the data, only 5% of the time do humans actually stop fully.
Even lower than that.
Those regulators coming to a complete stop don't hold full self-driving to a standard that you yourself cannot adhere to. It'll be absolute horse if something like coming to a complete stop at a stop sign prevents this technology from ever seeing the light of day. Come on, regulators, get your shit together.
0.5%.
0.5%?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so basically, people almost never fully stop at stop signs. So we had to.
Even if you look at those data, it's like a lot of them come to a stop and they get on their phone or something. It's not just regular people doing the stops.
Yeah, and they might like semi-stop and then move a little bit and that kind of thing. So we had to poll the fleet for rare examples that less than 1% of the time when people actually come to a full stop, and artificially train the system to stop at stop signs at the insistence of the regulators.
I'll catch it on the rewind.
Intervention, sorry. Okay, so that's our first intervention, because the car should be going straight.
Yeah, so this model has small regression in the traffic lights. We just have to oversample the traffic lights. Yeah.
Okay.
We have our first intervention about 20 minutes into the drive. Elon Musk heading into oncoming traffic with his own technology should have been on every news channel. Even still, they did not give it the airtime it needed. As Kathy Wood would say, truth wins out. Despite this one intervention, the drive has been truly transformative.
That's why we've not released it to the public yet. So an intervention at this traffic light. That's the first intervention in the whole drive. Yeah, so it just did a traffic merge, super smooth. So for that intervention that we just had, the solution is essentially to feed the network a bunch more video of traffic lights. So that was a controlled left controlled left turn, where there was a green light for the left turn, but not a green light to go straight. And so we'll feed it a bunch of video of control left turns, and then it'll work.
Deprived to survive the wolves that reside in the unconscious mind. Baby, sleep tight, zombie in the daylight. Golden eyes want to go outside. Be my dark night.
The smoothness of the control, the car, just how smoothly the car is behaving is it's hard to convey, I think, on camera. But it's just super smooth. Yeah, you have to feel it, really.
Let your boy at it then.
So it's gotten itself into the left turn lane. Again, we've never programmed in the notion of a turn lane or anything like that.
Or even a lane.
We doesn't even know what we've never. There's no line that says there's no line of code about traffic lanes at all.
My lover in the moonlight. My legs twist a melody, a smooth.
Alright, we've arrived at this random pin.
It might try to pull over. Let's see if it does. Sometimes it does pull over.
Yeah, so it kind of. So this is pretty cool. So the car just pulled over.
Holy shit! The cars pulling over at destinations. Robo taxi, here we come.
To the side of the road, and
And the passenger should get off
and parked. So it knows at the end of its destination, based on the video that's received, that at the end of the destination, you pull over to the side and park.
Yeah.
And probably head back to HQ, or Tesla entering HQ.
Do you want to do the fight or?
Where does he live? It's somewhere around here. Yeah, should we just Google it?
Yeah, you can Google it.
I mean, we can knock on the door and whatever Google says.
Please say hi, I guess.
Yeah, we'll say hi. We'll be friendly. It's just a polite inquiry as to whether you would like to engage in hand-to-hand combat. Okay, so this is literally, we just Googled it. We don't know if this is where he actually lives or not, but we'll just go there.
Roughly.
He's like, okay. So let's go, guys. So now we're at least going to where Google says, Zuckerberg lives.
Smooth harmony, my dark night. My lover in the moonlight. My legs twist a melody, a smooth, smooth harmony. I know that I should be home, but I'm.
Everything is automatic.
Right. Oh, is it gonna stop? Yeah. Okay, good. Stopped at the red light.
Yeah, it was a late yellow, so it's just like.
Yeah. Pretty much what a person would do.
Yeah.
You could tell at that stoplight that it was a little bit rough. Toward me, I would go ahead and give that a little bit of a report. In version 12's defense, it did stop the car in grand human fashion.
Grounded in flight. Life is a close call. I'll catch it on the rewind. I know that I should be home, but I'm.
I'll turn it so I can see the comments. Yeah, there's no lane drifting. It's super smooth in the lane. And it doesn't confuse a bike lane with a real lane or anything like that. Yeah, the ride is super comfortable. As I see messages popping up, I'll try to answer them. There's a lot of messages, actually.
Grounded in flight. Life is a close call. I'll catch it on the rewind.
The spot that's roughly where. But I don't think it doesn't seem probably where it is, because probably be security and stuff. Yeah.
I'll catch it on the rewind.
Can I head back to the office?
Yeah, sure. Good.
Hey, I'll catch it on the rewind. I'll catch it on the rewind. Hey.
is very, very polite with pedestrians. So it's stopped to wait for the couple to pass by, and now it's continuing to drive.
I'll catch it on the rewind. I'll catch it, catch it, catch it. I'll catch it on the rewind. I'll catch it, catch it, catch it. I'll catch it, catch it, catch it. I'll catch it, catch it, catch it. I'll catch it.
How does it react to low visibility conditions is one of the questions.
Yeah,
like at night and stuff, I suppose, or rain and snow.
I think it works as we were expected to. It like slows down rain and then drives at lower speed. And for occluded intersections, it kind of like crawls forward and then checks, if the vehicle's coming. That's one of the areas that we're trying to improve even more than just doing it right now.
Yeah.
In layman's terms, like a human.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons we definitely we need training from all around the world is that the weather in California is amazing, and it's as the song goes, like basically never rains in California. It's like sunny and nice almost all the time.
It never rains in Southern California, they tell me.
The drivers are pretty nice too.
Yeah, the drivers here are quite polite. So
we need some aggressive drivers and also pedestrians.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like we need situations where like there's a parade or a crowded situation or whatever, a lot of pedestrians for whatever reason.
Yeah. We want to be safe but also confident and be competent. In fact, we don't want to be too skittish and like hit the brakes all the time.
Yeah.
If it's like unnecessary.
Yeah, but it's winter basically in New Zealand, and so we have like the snowy conditions there that we can train in. It's a bicyclist. It's a little tight.
Get on the rewind.
It's like an unprotected turn for us.
Yeah, okay, so this is a tricky one. So this is turning left onto Middlefield in Palo Alto where visibility is not great. So it's like
both sides.
The cars coming from both sides at pretty high speeds. But did it. Yeah, no problem. Great.
A very scary situation for any driver. FSD version 12 tackles this issue with no problems. But this is nothing new if you've experienced version 11. I fully expect version 12 to be equally up to the task.
So an unprotected left onto a high-speed road, fairly high-speed road. Yeah, so V12 will be, I would say, actually smart summon, ASS.
yeah. Internally, we also called it like revenge summon almost, because we want like someone to be like so much. Like the first summon was okay, but this summon is going to be like so good that like.
I call it actually smart summon.
Actually smart summon.
ASS. It's like, don't you want some ASS? Of course you do.
You know we do. Who doesn't like little ASS?
Speed up is quite nice too.
Yeah, exactly. Like the very, very intuitive, smooth speed up and acceleration in turns.
Even the set speed is just like set to some max value. Like
Yeah, exactly. It's like currently set to 85, but it's ignoring the set speed. It's driving at what would be intuitively the right speed for people to drive at.
Yeah, you did a lane change to get into like a faster lane.
Exactly. So there's two lanes here. There's a lot more cars in that lane, fewer cars in this lane, and it's going straight. So it picked the lane with the fewest cars.
You guys understand that he is not driving. This is the artificial intelligence, the neural nets, making these decisions in real time. The world is about to change as we know it. And this is not news?
showing it typically, you know, the distance and the velocity and everything, acceleration. There's nothing here, and it's able to follow the vehicles.
Yep, exactly. There's no explicit distance that's programmed in for how close you should be behind a car. It's, again, just video training.
What would humans do? Intuition. This thing is thinking.
And it picks like a reasonable follow distance and does that.
Yeah, the nice thing is, you know, for bad weather conditions, for example, it will like automatically increase the speed.
Yep.
And if
Or
you see-
decrease the speed
yeah,
bad,
like,
yeah.
increase the distance. I mean.
Yeah, distance, yeah.
We're always planning the axis between water and air, grounded in flight. Spinning my mind, contemplating how we got here. Oh, it's a waste of time. Be my dog.
We'll see how it does in the parking lot. So, because parking lots are complicated, especially the Tesla parking lot, which is jam-packed. So probably pretty full even on a Friday night, a Friday evening. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock on a Friday.
Dark night, my lover in the moonlight. My legs twist a melody, a smooth harmony. My dark night, my lover in the moonlight. My legs twist a melody, a smooth harmony. I know
One of
that.
the interesting things about sort of pure AI driving is that it actually doesn't need a map at all. So we could delete the navigation system, simply give it a GPS point and say, get to this GPS point somehow. We're not going to tell you how. You could say, like, you see that building in the distance? Go there. And it would do that even with no, it would just, it might make some, you know, get to go down a road that's a dead end and then have to reverse out. But it would basically be able to do what a human can do, where if you said, please go to, point at something and go there. So now it's going into the parking lot. There is no explicit map of the parking lot, so now it is just trying to get to a GPS point.
That I should be home, but I'm grounded in flight. Life is a close call, I'll catch it on the rewind. I know that
Yeah, that's how it got to the point, and that's it. Alright, so that was the FSD 12 beta drive. Super smooth. One intervention, which we'll fix with a bit more training data. Otherwise, I would say, like, you know, if this was a Uber driver, pretty much apart from that one intervention, 5-star.
Yep.
So, all right, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Well, that's a little bit rough, especially if you're used to the high-quality full self-driving beta videos. But cut Elon some slack. That's not his primary job. He's really good at other things. You know what I mean? In conclusion, FSD version 12 and what it represents is without a shadow of a doubt amazing. Arguably one of the best practical solutions for artificial general intelligence. The amount of lives this technology will save should earn Elon and crew the Nobel Peace Prize. For those of you that think this technology is decades away, I ask you, what now? Since the mainstream finance media will not give this the airtime it deserves, here you are, please enjoy. Watch it as many times as you need to understand the gravity of this situation. You can also watch it uncut with the link in the description. Just make sure you understand the opportunity that this represents, not just in functionality, but fiscally as well. That's all I got for you today. Be easy. Peace.